Hello friends, welcome to next video lecture in kinematics of machines. So in today's video lecture, we will be seeing what are degrees of freedom and the Greubler's equation. So we will be seeing the definition of degrees of freedom and the Greubler's equation to determine the degrees of freedom of a given mechanism. So friends, please stay tuned with this video lecture. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not yet subscribed. Please like our Facebook page, Mechanical Engineering Tutorials. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter. The links are in the description below. So friends, let's begin with this video lecture. So first, let us see what do you mean by degrees of freedom. So it is defined as the number of parameters which are usually pair variables which must be independently controlled in order to bring a mechanism into a useful engineering purpose. That is, degrees of freedom is number of parameters which are independently controlled. So these are independently controlled to bring any mechanism to do any useful engineering work. So this is the definition of the degrees of freedom. That is, suppose we take a link and say it has n degrees of freedom and it has n independent variables associated with its position in a plane. That means if any link has n degrees of freedom, it also has the n independent variables associated with its position in a plane. That is, they are the number of independent parameters that specifies the position of all the links of a mechanism with respect to a fixed link. So this is known as degrees of freedom. So let us consider this with an example. So here we take two links, that is link number 1 and link number 2 as shown in the figure. Link number 1 is fixed and link 2 has a point A over it that translates a 2D plane by coordinates XA, that is this point A translates in X direction by XA and YA in Y direction. So we can say the coordinates of this point A will be XA, YA. So these are the coordinates of point A on a 2D plane. So we have X and Y as the 2D axis. So coordinates of point A will be XA, YA. Now we'll take another point B on the same link, that is link number 2, and we will join link point A and point B with a straight line. Now this straight line makes an angle of theta with respect to fixed link. So fixed link is parallel to X axis. So this particular line which joins the point B and point A on link number 2 makes an angle theta with respect to fixed link, that is with respect to X axis. Thus we can say link number 2 is completely now specified by, that is it can move in X direction with XA, in Y direction with YA, as well as in angular with theta. Thus it can be stated that an unconstrained, now I have not constrained this because this particular link 2 is free to move anywhere in 2D space. So an unconstrained rigid link in the plane has 3 degrees of freedom, that is one along X, one along Y, and next is the angle theta. So we have 3 degrees of freedom. Now suppose I bring this point A down and fix it with respect to link number 1, that is point A will be pivoted to link number 1. What happens when point A gets pivoted to link number 1? Say for example, this particular pen cap is the link. Now when it is free to move in 2D space, it can traverse in along X, along Y, as well as it can rotate with an angle theta. Now when this end A of this cap is brought and fixed with link number 1, it cannot move in X, it cannot move in Y, but it can only rotate with angle theta. That is, if point A on link 2 is hinged at say point C on the fixed link 1, the two variables XA and YA for point A will be fixed. The position of this link 2 will be determined by a single variable, and that will be only the angle. That is, this will be only that angle. because it cannot move in X, it cannot move in Y. Thus, link 2 will now have only 1 degree of freedom. So for lower pairs, the degrees of freedom is lost by 2 in a mechanism. That is, when any two links form a pair by joining at a fixed point or at a joint, it loses its 2 degrees of freedom when it forms a mechanism. That is, motion along X and Y, so it can only have the theta as the variable, and that will be its degree of freedom. Now let us see what is Greubler's equation. So let us see this Greubler's equation. So assume a mechanism having n links. Now we fix the one of the link. So suppose the mechanism has n links, and when one link fixed, the number of movable links will be n minus 1. So this will be number of movable links. Now the total number of degrees of freedom will be 3 times n minus 1, because when we take these movable links separately, okay, they will be bound with 3 degrees of freedom. This we have already seen in degrees of freedom. So those number of links which are movable, that is n minus 1, will have 3 degrees of freedom. Hence, the total degrees of freedom for all the movable links will be 3 into n minus 1. Before they are connected to any link. So this is the important condition. Just the movable links are free to move in 2D space, then their degrees of freedom will be 3 into n minus 1. Now, let us say P be the number of kinematic pairs between the links. That is, they form simple hinges in the mechanism, and that connects two links. An equation known as Kurzbach equation is employed to determine the degrees of freedom of a mechanism. That is, F is equal to 3 into n minus 1 minus 2p minus h minus r. So now let us see what are these parameters. So F is degree of freedom, 3 into n minus 1, that is n is number of links, P is, we have already seen, that is number of kinematics pairs, H is number of higher pairs, and R is number of redundant degrees of freedom. So what is this redundant degrees of freedom? Now I shall take a simple mechanism in this form. So here this is a fixed link, this is second link, third link, and we have the fourth link that slides in this slider. So the fourth link slides in this slider. So when these two links, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4 are the link numbers, when link number 2 and 3 oscillate or move, there won't be any oscillation of link number 3. That is, the link number 3 will not have any angular motion, but it will just slide in this slider left and right. So this type of degree of freedom, we call it as redundant degree of freedom, and we denote it as R. So using this particular equation, we will be seeing what is the degree of freedom of any given mechanism. Now, if the degree of freedom, that is F is equal to 1, so we have this case. Suppose on simplifying we get F is equal to 1. Then we can say the mechanism is known as single degree of freedom system. If F is equal to 2, then the system has 2 degrees of freedom. If F is equal to 0, this type of assembly is known as a structure, and there is no relative motion between the links. That is, there is no degrees of freedom. So F will be 0 for a structure. If F comes negative, then we call it as indeterminate structure. Okay, negative means it can be -1 or still lesser than that. Such type of assembly of linkages is called as indeterminate structure. So most of the mechanisms have single degrees of freedom, that is F is equal to 1. So when we substitute F is equal to 1, say for lower pairs, so this will be 1 equal to 3 into n minus 1. For lower pairs h and r will be equal to 0. So this will be minus 2p. Upon simplifying, we will get 2p minus 3n plus 4 is equal to 0. So this equation is known as Greubler's equation. So we will be making use of Kurzbach equation to determine the degrees of freedom of any given system. And once the degrees of freedom is obtained, that is if the degrees of freedom is 1, then using Greubler's equation you should get that value as 0. So this is about the Greubler's equation and degrees of freedom. So friends, if you have understood this lecture, please like and share this video with your friends, and if you have any doubts, please put a comment in your comment section below. So please subscribe to this channel, like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. The links are in the description below. So thank you very much friends.